So a bit of a late decision there from the Russian coach, but he has made the change, and it is Spartak that get us underway in the white shirts with the red band across the front, kicking from right to left in the second half.
It's an attacking change by Roma at half-time. So Fozzo will go on the pitch as the spearhead of the Italian attack. So brave move from the Italians.
Bove with the only goal of the game so far that put AS Roma in front. Good play by Cancelleri.
Got a bird's eye view of this battle here between Mutaliev and Tomasini. Tomasini, the fullback, well on top in that first half. Can Mutaliev strike back in this second half? Can he up his game? He's got to raise it to get the better of this Italian fullback. Looking for more of an impact from Golятов as well, the Spartak centre forward.
Cancelleri. Good ball in, but Толстопятов will get there first. Roma looking to make a positive start to the second half. Comes off Gенchou.
Seems to throw himself to the ground there, Golятov. Have a look. Maybe it was a push actually from Chuchi. No need to foul him there though. Well into his own half.
Ball over the top to Eto. Fozzo! Oh. Caught it well, but was straight at the goalkeeper. First touch for the substitute. And what an impact that could have been.
Good idea from Trippi in midfield there. Just lobs it over the top. So it's a Fozzo unlucky. Gets his shot on target though. High line of AS Roma again. Really standing out for me tonight.
Kожedub's the player that's gone off, by the way, at half-time. Had a good impact in the early two games. Kожedub out wide, but not on this occasion. Shitov coming on as Spartak going 4-3-3 in the second half. Shitov's twin brother Vitali is on the bench as well. Here is Vlad Shitov. Hромин, great ball across, great chance, just out of the reach of Levchenko. Mutaliev, little dink into the box, didn't have great conviction about it. Now Cancelleri runs into Gенchou but gets a fortunate bounce. Little back heel from Stepanenko, who was hobbling a moment or so ago. Толстопятов. Could be a good second half, this.
What a ball that was from the right-hand side for Spartak Moscow, crying out for white shirts to get in the box and attack it.
Shitov again took a tumble. Suffer sticking to his task well. It's Milanese back on defensive duty. Throw-in taken quickly. Pull back in again. Bove was just clipped by Levchenko. So free kick to AS Roma, deep inside their own half. Good start to the second half though for Spartak. Great ball in.
Fantastic delivery. Just in front of the player there. There's a chance there for sort of Fozzo before.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, say, chatting the other day to Fabrizio Picaretta at the hotel, and he talks with great enthusiasm about his side. He's very excited by the players that he's got playing for him, which is, as a coach, it's good to see that you have that confidence in those players.
He's got a wonderful squad of players here. And they're on the verge of making the semi-finals, and if you can win this tournament, this is the best tournament at this level. It's world-class, so that'll be some achievement for both him and his players. There's Tomasini again getting the better of Mutaliev.
Bove, Cancelleri. Winners of this will play Aspire Academy in the semi-finals. Cancelleri upended by Frolov.
He could have gone past the last defender again there, Cancellieri.
Oh, it's a second yellow card as well for Frolov. It's a red card, so Spartak are down to 10 men. Sorry to cut across you there, but
sorry,
second yellow for Frolov. So he goes, and Spartak are down to 10 men.
He can get the ball here, and he's tripped himself up there. I'm not sure about that. He's done it again. He leaves his trailing leg in. I'm telling you, he did it in the first half. He could go past the full-back and get a cross in there.
Bamba's ball in. The diving header was from Butaro. So sending off number 7. We saw a sending off in the quarter-final yesterday between Rangers and Etoile. Kader for violent conduct.
Well, 1-0 up in this match, and a fairly even match. But the advantage has really swung to AS Roma now to see out this quarter-final tie.
Levchenko has dropped into the back 4 alongside Толстопятов. That's just out of Cancellieri's reach. It's always disappointing when teams have a player sent off. It changes the dynamic slightly. But how often do you see 10 men just raise their game that extra 10% and put pressure on? That's a lovely ball by Golятов, just out of the reach of Шитов. He was a little bit on his heels there, the substitute. There's the challenge again.
I mean, he's got to slow down, you know. Who's it, the defender who gets sent off? Frolov. He's got to slow down. You've got to realise you've been booked in the first half. Slow the pace down. Don't dive in.
You saw him on the bench there. He was very quickly told that he couldn't stay on the bench. So I'm sure we'll see him up on the raised seating at some point, looking on, hoping his team could get back into this. Will be suspended for the next match, whatever happens, whether it's a semi-final or a playoff match for Spartak. Tueto Futso's won the corner. Whether we'll see a change from Vashkovic via Cheslav, maybe getting a more defensive-minded player on so he can push Levchenko back into midfield. Milanese, Tomasini, Suffer, Bamba on a forward run, wasn't a great ball, comfortably cut out by Толстопятов. Шитов, Голятов. Now they're starting to threaten a little. Good defending again by Tomasini.
He's a big, strong defender, isn't he? In opposition, attacking players find it so hard to get past him.
The free kick's gone Spartak's way. Bamba thought he'd been fouled. Two wins and a defeat in their last 3 coming into this for Spartak. They were beaten 4-0 by Lokomotiv Moscow. Big city rivals, of course. Real hotbed of football, Moscow.
The 3 teams from Moscow.
The CSKA, Spartak, and Lokomotiv.
Yeah.
Spartak Stadium, I say, one of the stadiums that was used in the World Cup. Fantastic stadium, refurbed fully, and great atmosphere.
Which one's that?
Actually, the Spartak Stadium, foul by Cancellieri. Just to a foul, Gенchou. They did a couple of games there, actually. Poland against Nigeria, I think, and Brazil against Croatia.
Good stadium, yeah?
Yeah, really good. Good atmosphere. Nice compact. Well taken by Borishkin. Cancellieri just looked like he might left the leg in there, but thought better of it.
I feel if AS Roma get this second goal, it's game over.
Well, when the sending off for Etoile came yesterday, I think they were 5-0 down at the time, so it didn't really have too much of an impact on the game. But of course, this much different.
Right at the start of the second half as well. That's the ball that you need to play for Bambo. He's got to be behind. He's got to be able to run onto the ball. Here we go.
Good cross in. Четвертьфинал doesn't get a touch. Bove was right behind him, and they were both queuing up in the centre to apply the finish.
That's your one. That's your chance to put this game to bed. He seems to go with a volley. He's got to go with it. Throw yourself at it. And he does neither. He goes with his knee. Of all the parts of his body he can go with, he's either got to head it or volley it. He puts that away, it's game over for me.
Yeah, 2-0 with 10 men. They've given the ball away again.
Yeah.
It's Milanese. Might go on his own here. Milanese, good defending. Levchenko got back across to get the deflection in. But Spartak getting themselves into all sorts of trouble at the back. And when you're down to 10 men, the last thing you want to be doing is giving the ball away.
Milanese having a right go there. Четвертьфинал. He's got to take his shot on earlier. It's closed down by the Russian in the end. Would have just exerted a little bit of pressure now. Here's Roma. Look as though they're going to get that second goal sometime soon.
Another corner. Interesting for Fabrizio Picaretta playing Trippier in midfield today. We saw him push into midfield in the last match when the substitutions were made, but had played at central defence. Butaro coming in at the back alongside Chiuchi, just giving them a little bit of a different dimension in midfield. Tomasini pursued by Shitov.
Really enjoyed his role tonight, hasn't he, Tomasini? Outstanding. Here he is again. That's the ball. That's the one. Good idea that by Trippier. First time ball round the corner. Turn that Russian defence. They're going to be tired now.
Stabbed away by Gенchou. The losers, the same as the winners, will have at least 2 more matches to play. There'll be matches tomorrow. The 4 losing quarter-finalists play each other, and then the 2 winners will meet for 5th and 6th place, and the 2 losers for 7th and 8th, which may sound a little confusing. It's bounced off the top of the cross. Oh, he went out of play and came back in again. There is Frolov in the tunnel. Still disappointed about his sending off. But it's a learning curve, isn't it? As you said, he'll learn from that. He'll learn when he's on a yellow card that you can't dive in with tackles. Even if Cancelleri made a little bit much of it.
Yeah.
You know, the leg's there, he's put the leg out. And we said about Hromin as well up against Bamba.
He just gave Cancelleri the option for them to go down by just rushing in.
Gенchou given away again. Chiuchi, Четвертьфинал, Bove. Now Bamba, 3 lined up in the centre.
The ball in.
Just whip it in, just too high for Chiuchi.
By the time he put the ball in, everyone was static. He had the chance to put it in earlier.
Making a change. Spartak. Magadamin Rabadanov is coming on. It's Daniel Grigoriev, the man who's going off, so it is an attacking change. Rabadanov, attacking midfielder. Foul on Stepanenko. But they're still playing a sort of 4-2-3 formation at the moment. Spartak, they've still got 3 men in advanced positions rather than dropping one back into midfield.
We've got to go for it, you know, knockout stages, so still over half an hour to play.
Given away again by Levchenko. And again by Толстопятов. Cancelleri's shot was always rising high.
Can't keep spurning these opportunities, AS Roma, while it's still at 1-0. Got to put this game to bed as soon as possible.
Yeah, Francesco Totti, of course, the most famous AS Roma player, still involved with the club. He was instrumental in getting Justin Kluivert, Patrick Kluivert's son, to Roma. Edin Dzeko, also at Roma at the moment, the former Manchester City striker. Bove. Well done. Around the back of Levchenko. Tueto Fozzo. Nicely off to Milanese. Cancellari's in space. Now 3 racing to the centre. See to make sure they don't stray offside. Good take by Borishkin. Well done by the goalkeeper. And straight away, Trippi putting pressure on Rabadanov. Stepanenko. Mutaliev. Haven't seen much of him in the second half as yet, but he is a danger. Golятов. Rabadanov. Away from the challenge of Bamba. Nicely done. Stepanenko.
Got white shirts forward, haven't they? He's got to go into the box. It's not a bad delivery. Here we go. Oh!
Great ball in. Shitov didn't get off the ground, though.
He does everything right. Shitov gets right across the fullback. There's been 2 or 3 occasions in the match where you think the Russian player's going to make contact with a cross. Look at this for a delivery. Wonderful ball into the box. There's his movement.
Just doesn't get off the ground, does he?
Maybe it's just that little bit of body block from Suffer there. That's good defending from the Italian fullback. When it's in that situation, don't let the attacker get a clean run. Make it as difficult as possible for him, and he did that. Suffer then.
Mutaliev. That's the danger of a 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
You'd only need a set piece or a free kick for Spartak to get back into this.
They've had the chances as well, haven't they, Roma?
And then you think, well, we're into the final 30 minutes. If you get back into this, is it a question then you think, right, let's just hold out and go for penalties? That's possibly a good chance to win. It doesn't matter how many players you've got there. No extra time if it is level at 90 minutes, by the way. It would go straight to a penalty shootout. Spotted the Altenordu coach a little earlier on. They will play the losers of this match in the playoff game tomorrow. Cancellari trying to thread it through to Bove. Tueto Fozzo! Good save, Borishkin. Outstretched leg from the goalkeeper. I think he's carried it over for a corner, but well, again, Tueto Fozzo with a wonderful chance to make it 2-0.
Borishkin, I don't know whether he's going to his right, and he just sticks out with his left foot here. Wonderful save. Oh, yes. Might be important, that, come the end of the match.
Roma corner. Borishkin with a punch. Corner on the opposite side. Looks like another change being prepared on the bench by Spartak. In swinger this time towards Borishkin. Plenty of movement in the penalty area. Tueto Fozzo! I'm not too sure he knew much about that one.
He turns his back on the ball. He goes with the back of his head here. I'm sure he does. Yeah.
I think he was just spun round by the defender more than anything. Shitov's back heel. Free kick to Roma. His side have been in a much harder battle than their first two games. Tomasini. Bamba. Oh, almost threaded it through to Milanese. Genshu. Mutaliev. We are going to see another change by Spartak. It's the first appearance in the tournament for Nikita Gloydman. Stepanenko, the man that came off, I think he might have picked up a knock not that long ago. Stepanenko, he was certainly struggling when he put that ball in a moment or so ago down in the corner. Bamba. Reminder, it's Real Madrid against Kashiwa Reysol coming up in about an hour's time. Final of the quarter-finals. Repeat of last year's quarter-final, 3-2 to Kashiwa on that occasion. 2016 Real beat Kashiwa 6-0. So it could be an interesting battle between those two. Milanese. Cancellari's in loads of space on the far side. Hромин had just tucked in. Suffer. Just lost the ball slightly, still stabs it goalwards. Still going, Suffer. And gets the ball across. Tueto Futsu! Cleared off the line. Well, he's claiming the ball went over the line. And the referee has given the goal. And Tueto Futsu makes it 2-0 to AS Roma. And the man who's had two good chances so far in the half finally makes his third count. Borishkin tried to claw it out but couldn't. And AS Roma lead by 2-0.
This is a big call for me. There he's at the far post. Header's coming in now. Yeah.
I think that's all over the line. If you look at it, you might see better from here.
There we go. This is the one.
Yeah. Clearly over the line. Good decision by the official. Assistant referee right on the line. No goal line technology here. We do have VAR, of course, but no goal line technology. But the official's not needing it on that occasion. Roma are going to make a change.
Does it still go to VAR?
I suppose it could do. Normally when VAR has been used, we've had goal line technology as well. So that's I'm sure they could refer it if they needed to. Bamba's the man coming off. Chievo is the man coming on. So not had the best of days, Bamba. Started well.
There's more to come from him. Could start an impact at the semi-final, or if you get to the final stage.
I think he's good in this tournament. You often see the coaches putting an arm around players when they've come off, which is nice to see because no one likes being substituted. But at least if you get some congratulations for your performance, it makes you feel that little bit better. That's a foul from Levchenko, or by Levchenko rather. There's Roma edging closer to the semi-finals. And here they come again. It's Bove! Oh, he's just rolled it wide. Great chance again for his second goal of the game, Bove.
This game should be over now. There's Roma just creating chance after chance after chance. I just don't think 2-0's enough, but you know, just to make it really comfortable for the last 20 minutes in normal time, if they get a third goal, it would be better for the manager's nerves.
Away by Burt. And Tueto Futsu and Толстопятов both missed it. Borishkin able to retrieve the danger. Remove the danger, rather. Suffer.
They're a good team to watch, aren't they? AS Roma play some delightful football.
Chievo, good pace. Yeah. Great run with the ball as well, and gets it across. It's away by Gloydman.
Yeah, started mainly as a substitute, Chievo, but he's caught my eye every time he plays. Very attack-minded player. AS Roma really cutting through Spartak Moscow now.
started the opening game. Chievo. Mutaliev. I think this is one of the reasons Roma have done so well, because they've done a job on Mutaliev tonight. They've just stopped him playing.
That man in your picture there has been probably the man of the match. Tomasini's done a right job on Mutaliev, not giving him a kick. Before the match, you're looking at the matchups all over the pitch, and Mr. Balmardi there in your picture. I think he's going to be in the studio with me in a few minutes after this game. Good to catch up with him, former Qatar national team manager.
And the ball's volley around. Was that handball? I don't know whether that was a handball. Deep inside the penalty area. Here's Gенchu. Might have a look at that in a moment. Good ball through the defence, great ball across. Gloydman will try and pull it back again. Plenty of white shirts in the centre, went to try and slip it in at the near post, away by Burt. And then the offside flag goes up. Very late flag again. Well, I'm not sure that was offside. I don't think that was the one. Why has it taken so long for the flag to go up? That's the question. Now the flag goes up after the shot and after the ball's come back off the goalkeeper. That's bobbling around. There's a handball, surely. Well, Cancellieri's... That's a change for Moscow, sorry. So Mutaliev has gone off. And it's the other Shitov brother, Vitali, that comes on. There's Bove. Great chance for Spartak to get themselves a goal though a moment or so ago. They just couldn't make their pressure count. Chievo. Trippy.
Well, the second half has been all AS Roma. They managed to get the other goal. They've had an opposition player sent off as well. Still coming forward, still creating chances. Quite comfortable.
Yeah, apart from that little scramble a moment or so ago, still a little surprised they've chosen to take Mutaliev off, because we know that he can be a danger man.
He's not had a kick though, has he?
But maybe he's a little bit... maybe a little bit one-dimensional. We haven't seen him switch sides or go through the middle, or, you know, he's always played down this left-hand side.
Yeah.
Maybe that's possibly where he lacks. Normally you maybe switch him and Shitov over maybe and give him a chance to have a run at Suffer down that far side.
He was getting no change out of Tomasini.
That's all credit to the defender. Here's Толстопятов. Шитов. He's got his brother racing through the centre. It's a little bit early when he released the cross. Oh, shots coming in more in hope than anything else now from Spartak. Dejected bench. Those players that have come off for Spartak.
Yeah, everyone's sat down now. No one's excited on that bench for Spartak Moscow. Eventually the manager stands up.
I think this tournament, obviously we still don't know. We're assuming that AS Roma are going to go through to the semi-finals. We've got Kashiwa Real Madrid to come, but I think when you look at whichever 4 teams are in the semi-finals, it's now so difficult to call who could win this tournament. We thought Spartak would be the surprise package, but it's Roma and Rangers really that are turning out to be the surprises at the moment.
No, the 2 outstanding performances from the quarter-final stage so far. Let's have a look what Real Madrid and Kass can bring us.
Yellow card for Толстопятов. Three Roma players inside the penalty area suffer. Little chip up. It was a good header from Glойдман. Chievo with his back to goal. Chiuchi.
Oh, wonderful play. Oh, wonderful play.
Now, Chievo's ball almost found its way through to Eto Fotso. I'm sure it was meant as a shot. Bove goes down under Hromin's challenge.
Wonderful dancing feet from Milanese a minute ago on the far side for AS Roma.
Just under Tomasini. I think the referee might. I don't think that's a penalty. No. I think it's a little nudge. I think she has just asked the throw-in to wait while she gets some instruction from the
you can always
VAR room.
You can always tell when the player looks up whilst mid-roll. No.
Minimal. Knew it was coming, I think, Bove. You see Hromin's reaction. And she's said, play under the change for Roma. Muteba coming on. That's Tomasini that's going off, so his job done, having kept Mutaliev quiet and quite to the point where he was substituted by Spartak.
Well done. Well done, Tomasini. Fantastic performance. A very important role tonight.
Good ball across by Shitov, blocked by Trippi. It's a corner to Spartak. This could be an opportunity for them to try and get themselves a goal back. They've taken it short. Rabbadanov. Well played again. Cancelleri, the goalkeeper's a long way out. He scored from long range on a number of occasions this season. Not this time, though. Still going. Well, the little trip was that from Толстопятов, that he's bundled over by Хромин. Referee saw nothing wrong. Gенchou. Rabbadanov. Sliced across his own half by Chiuchi. Butaro's there.
I've enjoyed this performance tonight from AS Roma, really have, especially the second half. I know they were helped by the sending off of the Spartak Moscow player, but very silky going forward, aren't they?
But they've been patient as well. They haven't been too worried about the fact that they weren't able to break down Moscow early on. They got the goal in the first half, but you know, they have stayed patient. They missed those chances, but they stuck to their game plan.
Very attacking side as well, AS Roma. Some wonderful combinations when they go forward.
Travellini is going to come on as we approach the final 10 minutes of the match. Cancelleri is the man coming off. I don't think Cancelleri's quite lived up to the promise that we would have perhaps expected. I know he's very highly rated, but he's worked hard, he's done his job, but still looking for his first goal.
You can see it. Reminds me a bit of Gus Poyet. He's got that tall stature. He does look a goal scorer. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets on the score sheet. Maybe the semi-final or the final. He's a very attack-minded player.
Yeah, I'm sure the stage is set. He's still got 2 more matches to impress us. Semi-final, and then either the final or the 3rd, 4th place match. If Spartak do lose this, they'll have to play again tomorrow, so no real time for Vashkovic Vyacheslav to rally his troops. Does get to be playing for a little bit of pride when you get to those lower placings. We saw that from Paris Saint-Germain yesterday, but quite where Suwon Samsung got 4 goals from. We didn't see them scoring 4. But they had a really good performance yesterday against PSG. Bayern Munich finally got a victory as well against Raja.
You know, sometimes the team goes down to 10 men and they have a little bit of a go. It seems to spur them on, but Roma have given Spartak Moscow no chance to do that tonight. Dominated possession, still going forward with every given opportunity.
Hromin. Chievo. Just kept the ball in play. He's been a useful player to have off the bench.
I like him. Oh, as soon as I say that.
Commentators curse.
Honestly.
He's winning it back though, gave it away to Rabbadanov and then wins it back again.
Don't let me down.
Chiuchi. Muteba.
Been a good first match, hasn't it, today?
It's been a completely different. Obviously, the first match yesterday was all about Rangers in the second half. It was 1-0 at half-time. 6 goals in the second half for Rangers, but this has been a much tougher battle in terms of tactical play. And even allowing for the fact Spartak have been down to 10 men for much of the second half, they've still given a good account of themselves. We'll start to feel it in those legs now as we approach the final 7 minutes. So we always say that hopefully, whatever your situation in this tournament, you take some positives. Here's the header from Travellini. He just got too much on it, was just trying to help it with the pace on the corner, but too strong. And Safa. Butaro. Tueto Fozzo. Chievo. Oh, nicely done. He could be in here.
Go on,
might go on his own. Oh, good defending. It was Shitov that got back with the challenge. Still there pressing. Oh, good defending by Rabbadanov as well. It was Chievo that was about to pull the trigger. Another change for Spartak. Vladislav Saumov we're seeing for the first time. It's Genshu, the man that's gone off. They're just getting some bodies on now, some fresh legs for the final few moments.
Couldn't make him his mind again, did he? The goal scorer. Just went to Fozzo, you know, whether to head it or volley it. In the end, doesn't either.
Trippy. Muteba. Butaro. Roma finishing strongly. Safa. Wasn't a great cross, away by Shitov. Well, not away by Shitov. Milanese Just too high. Foul on Levchenko. Sаумов. Away by Chiuchi. It's not been his night. Rashkovic, Vyacheslav. But he'll have a chance to raise his players again tomorrow when they take on Altenordu. We'll bid to see who finishes in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Still got 2 more matches to go at least. Trippier will put the ball out of play, so Vlad Shitov can get some treatment. Three minutes to go. 3 minutes from AS Roma going through to the semi-finals. 3 minutes from a second consecutive clean sheet. 9 goals scored, just 2 conceded so far. Free kick given away against Tueto Fotso. Travellini. Blocked by Rabbadanov. Suffer. Chiuchi. Bove. Scored the first goal in the first half. Eduardo Bove to get Roma on their way. Tueto Fotso added a second. Despite the efforts of Borishkin, the ball did cross the line. Reminder, Real Madrid, Kashiwa Reysol coming up in the second quarter final of the day. And another change for Roma, Luca Anglietti coming on. And Suffer again, like Tomasini on this near side, has had a good game at fullback. They've all played their part, all the players that have not only come off the bench, but of course the starting 11, all 5 changes made now by AS Roma. The semi-finals to come on Wednesday. 3rd place match and the final on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Rabbadanov. Chiuchi. Shitov. Levchenko loses possession. Travellini. Solid challenge from Толстопятов. Will run the ball all the way through to the goalkeeper, Pietro Burr. Hasn't had too much to do in this second half. There was that one little spell from Spartak where they had a bit of a scramble. There was a little bobble around with a hint of handball, but just wasn't to be the Russians' night. Rabbadanov. Ball played through the defence once again, but straight through to the goalkeeper. 3 minutes added time at the end of the 90. Away by Chiuchi. Anglietti's dropped in at right back. Muteba's gone across to left back now. And he's fouled by Shitov. Bove. Nice quick feet. Anglietti. Travellini went for the acrobatic. Chievo! Finishes in some style to put the seal on a victory for AS Roma. Oh no, he doesn't, because the flag's gone up for offside. But again, it's a very late flag. Well, he looks in amazement. I think it's the touch from Tueto Fozzo, from Travellini. Very late flag in the corner once again, though. And Chievo denied a goal to make it 3-0. Al-Akhli's players training in the gym just behind Boriskin's goal. I think the referee is still listening maybe to VAR. He may have a look at that again. She's told the goalkeeper to wait for the whistle. I don't think he is offside. Look at the line. It's the final defender. It's the touch at the near post. Chievo's definitely onside. Tueto Fozzo doesn't get a touch. He's clearly onside there. He may get the faintest of touches. I'm still waiting to find out if it is going to be a third goal for AS Roma. The VAR room you can see on the top right of your picture. Whole range of monitors looking at their own replays constantly while the game's going on. They're taking an age to decide this one. This is where perhaps sometimes VAR doesn't quite work if it's not as clear-cut as you would expect on the replays. We've already played well over the 3 minutes added time. The players just trying to keep loose, just jogging on the spot, waiting to see if it's going to be a goal kick. There's the line. You can see Chievo's clearly behind the line. I think Tueto Fozzo's behind the line as well. Look at the... It's difficult to tell. It's just there. They look like they're the wrong side of the defender, but it's when that touch comes, they've moved back. And Chievo's clearly onside when he touches the ball. It's a question of whether Tueto Fozzo was offside just before in the first phase of that move. Whatever happens, Roma are going into the semi-finals. I'm not too sure how long we've been waiting for this decision now. It's got to be a good 3-4 minutes. And they're still trying to make up their mind. Well, those Roma fans will be here again on Wednesday for the semi-final. Oh, and she's given the goal. Finally, it is a third goal. So Chievo's wait is over. He does have a third goal. It took forever to get to the decision, but they've decided that he was onside. He's all smiles. There's the little flick from Travellini, and then helped on just the faintest of touches by Tueto Fozzo. And Chievo into the roof of the net to make it 3. It's tough on the Russians, who have been down to 10 men after Frolov sending off. Shitov, Milanese, Travellini, and behind Levchenko. Great ball across. Chievo! Good save, Borishkin. What a chance for 4-0. Credit to the goalkeeper, makes a wonderful save. Caught it on the volley beautifully, and the goalkeeper reacted well to get a hand to it. Roma corner. Well, there goes the full-time whistle. AS Roma booked their place in the semi-finals after a 3-0 win against the Russians, Spartak Moscow. Bove, Tueto Fozzo and Chievo, the substitute, with the third. Frolov was sent off in the second half for Spartak on what's been a disappointing day for the Russians. But they have a chance to redeem themselves. They'll still have 2 matches to play. They'll take on Altenordu in the place matches tomorrow, while AS Roma will go on to face Aspire Academy in the semi-finals. Bove rose highest ahead in the first after a torrential rainstorm, and from there Roma kicked on. Mutaliev was kept quiet, and that was key really to Roma's successes. Fabrizio Picaretta had his team set up beautifully. Tueto Fozzo scored the second. The ball had crossed the line. And then right on full time, Chievo made it 3. We had an agonising 3 or 4 minute wait while VAR decided if it was a goal or not. And the full-time stats show Roma had much more of the ball than Spartak. Plenty more shots in the game.